welcome to the video. We are now in Michigan. We are about 30 minutes out from where the location is for this Backyard Ultra. This will be my second ever Backyard Ultra. We're heading there today because we want to get a nice spot for our tents. It is first come, first serve in terms of setting up your tent. So we're gonna set that up tonight, and then the race starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's the morning of race day. It is 6:30 a.m. We're about to head out in about 5 minutes. Gonna pick up some ice, get some coffee on the way. There's an hour time change from Illinois, so I'm a little bit more tired, but starting to wake up, just took a shower. Gonna head to the race. We got a race meeting at 8:30 at 9 a.m. It's time to race. Got the bib. Got some parking passes, some passenger camping, wristband, and with a headband. And pre-race meeting should start here pretty soon. I have the meeting, and then it's time to take off. I'm gonna grab something real quick to eat, settle down for a bit, and then we'll be starting here soon. I won my first Backyard Ultra Marathon. Let me take you through it. So before we get into the video, I'm gonna explain what a Backyard Ultra is. A Backyard Ultra is a ultra marathon where you have a tent set up at a start finish line. Oftentimes it's in the woods. It is a 4.2 mile loop, and you have an hour to complete that loop. Whatever time you have remaining is your time to rest, and then you have to be back at the start line at the top of the next hour. And you go either until you don't make a time or until you're the last person left. So I did this race last year in Maine. I made it about 85 miles, which put me at about 19th place. And my goal this year was to win it. So some of my goals in terms of this race were, one, to hit 100 miles or more. And then, like I said, two, I wanted to be the last one running. And this is kind of how the race went. We got into Michigan, where the race was held in Clarkston, Michigan, and we set up the night before. So for this race, you could set up wherever. I was able to set up nice and close to the start finish line. And then from there, took off. And my goal throughout the race was just try to stay as calm as I could, keep my heart rate nice and low. So I do each loop. I didn't take any caffeine in for the first 15 hours. So I had lots of time, just kind of recover after each loop, and was able to rest my eyes, keep my heart rate nice and low. And as the race progressed, as we got to like that 15-hour mark, I started taking more caffeine, which just helped give me an extra jolt of energy. It was a very hot day. The first day was like in the 80s, and then in the second day it was pretty close to it. The second day got a little bit hotter, and heading into the first night, it got pretty cold.
2, 1!
Here it is, your next 50 miles. You are doing great.
One thing I did to help keep me nice and warm throughout the race was during the evening, I was changing my shirt every hour just to help keep my feet nice and dry. And I ended up wearing the same pair of shoes the entire race. They held up really well. But as the race went on, I felt really strong. I felt very in control of the race. And as we got into the next day, made it past 24-hour mark, a lot of people dropped out. The nighttime can be hard to run. You get lonely. You start to feel the pain a little bit more as it gets dark. And we made it to that next day. And we eventually got down to about 3 runners left. And when we were with those 3 runners left, I could tell the other runners were starting to break down. And at this point, this just helped give me more energy to help keep pushing forward.
The race is not over yet. There are still 4 solid runners competing, all who have done over 100 miles at this point. And it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes.
And I knew at that moment I really wanted to break their spirit. So the second I noticed they started slowing down, I started increasing my speed for those last few laps to really make them think that this could go on forever. And the 2 runners had some big goals, but I think the combination of the heat and just seeing me continue to be as strong as I would really demoralized them and caused them to end up giving in. And this race ended up going 30 hours, 126 miles, and by the end of it, I felt stronger than even when I started the race.
Perfect PR champion.
Last person standing!
Good work.
Nice job, sir.
Thank you guys,
Good work.
thank you. Oh,
Nice work.
Outstanding, outstanding.
So I was really happy with all the progress I made since last year. My next goal is to do another Backyard Ultra and go a little bit further and just continue to get better at this race format, and eventually with hopes to qualify for the US team, which would be the top 15 runners in the US in this race and compete against some other countries in this race format. at Big's Backyard Ultra. Definitely was a tough race last year, but from everything I learned, it really just helped prepare me to really excel this year during that Backyard Ultra. So what made me feel so strong during this race? So it's been about a month since I did that 200 miler. And that 200 miler was one of the most brutal races I've ever done. It was a lot of elevation. It was through the mud, through the rain. It was a really brutal race. And that just prepared me for just the level of pain that I feel in this race, and really just helped me to push through. So there were times when my feet would hurt, times where I was uncomfortable, but from that experience before, being as uncomfortable as I was in that last race just really helped make this race go a lot smoother and just prepare me for being able to truck on through this race. And then what did I eat during this race? I kept it very simple. Ate a lot of what I ate during 200 miler, a lot of bagels, a lot of carb bars, had a few apples. I had some honey stingers, but kept it super simple. And I think this really helped me to avoid any stomach issues and just continue to be strong throughout the race, where some other runners who were taking down all sorts of different stuff seemed to struggle a little bit more. And with my fueling, I was taking in 500 milligrams of sodium an hour and felt really hydrated throughout. And that second day, as it got warmer and warmer, I think people started to feel the dehydration. People were getting dizzy from it. So I was really happy with my fueling strategy throughout. And throughout the race too, one thing I made a note to do was to not complain, because the second I heard someone complain, I knew it would be a few laps before they were out. So the biggest key for this one is just to stay in your zone, keep moving. Don't think about the pain you're feeling, just stay focused on the goal and focus on the lap at hand. And that was what I did a lot throughout this race, and that just really helped me to perform well. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you could like it, and stay tuned for more running content coming your way.